Hello, today is 1/19 of 26, and I am here with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I changed my diet to a high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet in April of 2024. It is currently quarter after 9, about 9:30 actually, and I am making my coffee. So I'm making it with 1 cup of Fairlife 2% milk, a serving of whey isolate protein powder, a serving of collagen peptides, and a tablespoon of MCT oil. And then I'm going to have with it a donut from Conscious Comforts, which is a local bakery in my area that makes gluten-free, sugar-free donuts. This is what they look like. They're very good. And I have made my food for lunch. So my husband and I are going to Chick-fil-A for lunch today, probably around 11. So I am taking some blackberries, and then I have in here kind of like the start of a salad. So it has my dressing, which is fat-free, wishbone Italian dressing. That's just what I prefer. And then I have a tablespoon of chia seeds to get some extra fiber in and some cucumber. I will eat it with a 12 count of Chick-fil-A's grilled chicken nuggets and a side salad. So I'll add the salad to this bowl and then top it with my chicken. It is quarter till 2, and I am getting ready to make my last meal of the day. And it's a new recipe to me, so that's exciting. It is for a Mexican breakfast dish. You can cook it in the slow cooker, but you can also bake it in the oven. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake it in the oven. I have here a pound of ground pork that I cooked up, cooked and crumbled. I did add, which is not in the recipe, I did add maybe like a half teaspoon of salt and pepper to it because I believe in seasoning every layer. I'm going to add to this my seasoning mix. So this is a half teaspoon of coriander, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of cumin, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of pepper. And then the recipe calls for a teaspoon of chili powder, but again, my family doesn't like a lot of spice, so I only added a half teaspoon. I'm just going to get this blended in, and then I will add a cup of salsa. And I wonder if I could have just added the seasonings to the meat as I was cooking it. Like, I'm not sure why that's not part of the instructions. I don't know. Then that would have like seasoned the meat and then it would have been fine. Okay, so then I have here, let's scoot some stuff over, a mixing bowl. I'm going to get this in, and then I'm going to add to it my egg mixture. So in my measuring cup, I have 1 cup of Fairlife 2% milk. The original recipe calls for 1 cup of heavy cream. But I prioritize protein. Heavy cream does not have protein in it. And I'm on a fat loss journey where I want to eat fewer calories. So my 2% milk is going to have a lot fewer calories than heavy cream. And then I also have in here 10 eggs. And I'm just going to get these mixed together. And then add a cup of shredded Mexican blend cheese. For my pan, I have a 9 by 13 baking dish that I'm going to be using, and my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I did grease this pan. This will just go in here. And then I'll get this into my oven. It is supposed to bake for 30 minutes. And I am going to need to eat more protein today to get to my protein goal. So I'm going to eat 3 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I have cooked up sitting in my kitchen, in my refrigerator. My casserole is done. It smells amazing. I am going to have 2 servings of this. Well, hopefully anyway. I hope I like it. All right, I'm going to give it a try. It did take 30 minutes to cook instead of 20. It's decent. It feels very compartmentalized. Like I can taste the eggs and they don't have a ton of flavor. And then like I can taste the seasoning mix and then like I can taste the pork, which has some flavor because I did add salt to it, but like it all seems very compartmentalized. So I don't know, it just doesn't feel as cohesive as I would like it to feel. Maybe it needs to like cool a little bit longer. I did wait a couple minutes before I took some out. Maybe it needs just a little bit longer to kind of like come together. But the flavor is okay. Yeah. It just kind of all feels very separate from everything in here. So, I don't know. I don't know that it's something I'd make again just because of like the flavor is okay. It just I don't know. I wish it was more together and like combined instead of like tasting all these separate flavors. My husband will probably have his with some smashed avocado on top. I think that would be fabulous. But because I want to reduce my calories, I'm not going to add that on top. I almost feel like it needs extra cheese, like just something to kind of bring it all together. I'm not sure. Maybe if I were to make it again, maybe I would put the cheese on top. Like instead of blending it in, maybe the cheese would go on top. I don't know why I feel like that would help bring it together, but I do. So, I mean, it's okay. Today was supposed to just be a cardio and stretch day for me, but I had a really stressful day, and I find that probably the thing that calms me down the most is to like really push my body, like to lift, like really, like what I really wanna do is push a giant boulder up a hill. Like, I wanna, like, use my body that much, that always makes me feel better. So, I pivoted and I decided to do my heavy leg day today, and I did some things that I've never done before. I did some things I've done before, but also some things I've never done, so that was kind of fun. So I did cross-stack squats, which I haven't done before. Now, I didn't do them weighted, and they were fairly easy, but I was worried about adding weight, um, just because, like, they're kind of technical, and I wasn't sure that I'd be able to, like, keep my balance and be able to do it and stay safe. So I just did them without any weight. And then I did single leg calf raises weighted, so I used 50 pounds. They were hard. It was amazing. And then I did weighted step ups, which I normally do those up onto a box. Although I did increase my weight. So I have been using 10 pounds. I'm using 15 pounds, or that's what I used today was 15 pounds. And then the other thing I did that I haven't done before is to do isometric goblet squats. So I go down, like I was holding 50 pounds. I would go down like really slow. Like it would take me 5 seconds to get all the way down. And then I would hold it for 5 seconds and then push up like quickly. Those were really, really hard. I could only do 6, and, like, that was, like, the max that I could do per set. I did do 3 sets. So, it was really a lot of fun. It helped me calm down a lot. I'm really glad that I decided to do that. My day actually turned out really great also. I ended up with about 1,600 calories. My protein is 168, my net carbs are 30, and my fat is 85. I'm in a caloric deficit of about 300. Fantastic. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.